Okay, so today is time trial day, so we have the position of the riders checked by the control jigs in the tent behind us. The riders then move into this area here where they're free to use the warm-up equipment. Before we go onto the start ramp, they have their numbers checked and we undertake a technological fraud check. Technological fraud is the use of any mechanism that can aid the propulsion of a bicycle other than the rider itself. The equipment we use for detecting technological fraud is based on a tablet computer. We install that inside a case so it's hard wearing, and inside the case we install an adapter. The adapter creates a fixed magnetic field in front of the device, and it's the detection of this field and the calibration against this field that allows us to detect technological fraud. Disturbances to the fixed magnetic field would be caused by a motor, control components, some batteries, or any ferrous or metal items that we see in front of us on the bicycle. Therefore, using this device, it would be impossible for an item to get past our detection methods here. There are methods of screening, electronic motors using heavy metals, but this tablet would still detect that. There is also talk of electromagnetic wheels. Clearly an electromagnetic wheel requires a magnet. This would detect that. So this has been developed to detect the technologies that we know today and those that we believe are going to be possible in the future. This is my colleague from the technical team at the UCI. You'll notice that he's holding the device fairly close to the bicycle, and we're scanning the main tubes, paying particular attention to the bottom bracket area. As we see when we're scanning, we're looking for a good consistent 0 on the screen there. You may see a small indication of 1 or 2. The duration of the high reading would indicate the presence of a motor. This bike is now clean and considered okay to enter the racing environment. If it wasn't and we'd found an indication of technological fraud, we would move to the next stage. And the next stage would be to dismantle the bike. That means to remove certain components so that we could see inside and identify if a motor was present or not. We've had one case out of 15,500 checks this year where the device indicated that a motor was present, and that case actually found that there was a motor in that bike and technological fraud had been conducted. So you've seen what we do before a race here today. At the end of a race, we also undertake technological fraud checks. This can form a number of different ways. So we can either check the riders that are on the podium, we can check riders at random, we can check complete teams. We try and keep the protocols that we use fairly flexible so we are not predictable.
I think for the bike checks, for the engine checks, any progress in technology to level the playing field and to keep track of what's really going on, I think is always a good thing.
I think it's a progression in the sport that the UCI have gone ahead and done this, and I think it's only for the betterment of the sport.
The UCI has invested a great deal of time and resource into developing this method of detecting technological fraud. That's an indication of how important it is to us. We have complete faith in the system that we have as being fast, efficient, and most importantly, being effective in combating any attempts at technological fraud.